Hello everyone. In this video, we will look at several example applications of Frank-Wolf method to showcase the scenario where it really works well. Just to recap, we are considering x star equal to argmin over x in calligraphic x, f of x, and we are going to be pitting the following two algorithms against each other. The first is the projected gradient descent, which is xt plus 1 equal to projection onto calligraphic x, xt minus eta gradient f of xt. And the second is the Frank-Wolf algorithm, where the updates take the form yt equal to argmin over u in calligraphic x, inner product of gradient f of xt comma u, and xt plus 1 equal to 1 minus eta t xt plus eta t times yt. When discussing each of the examples, we'll ask ourselves if one of these is better. We will start with a very simple example, that of minimization of a function over a unit norm ball constraint defined on an inner product space. Here the Frank-Wolf method will not have any specific advantage, but it will just give us insight into how projected gradient descent and Frank-Wolf methods are different. Consider the problem minimize f of x subject to norm of x less than equal to 1. So here the calligraphic x is the set of all x such that norm of x is less than equal to 1, or the unit norm ball. We have already seen the projection onto the unit norm ball. So the projected gradient descent method can be written as xt plus 1 is equal to px of xt minus eta gradient f of xt, which is nothing but xt minus eta gradient f of xt divided by max of norm of xt minus eta gradient f of xt comma 1. For applying the Frank-Wolf algorithm, y of x equal to argmin over norm u less than equal to 1, gradient f of x inner product with u, which is nothing but minus gradient f of x divided by norm of gradient f of x. So the Frank-Wolf updates are given by xt plus 1 equal to 1 minus eta t xt minus eta t times gradient f of xt divided by norm of gradient f of xt. Let us see the contour plot of this example in order to get an intuition. We will consider the same example as we did for visualizing the performance of projected gradient descent. That is, we will consider a function in R2 whose minimum occurs at 4, 4. However, suppose that we need to minimize f over constraint calligraphic x, which in this case is a norm ball. So the constraint region does not include the point 4, 4, and therefore the optimum lies on the boundary of calligraphic x. And we are starting at the point marked by the triangle. Then when we take the first step of Frank-Wolf algorithm, we see that it is not really pointing in the direction of steepest descent. Instead, it is actually trying to get to the center of the constraint region. What is really happening is that we are calculating y, which is a point along the boundary of the constraint region and is off the figure. Then we are taking a convex combination of the current point with that y point. And the end result is where the x2 is shown. If we continue in the same way, it starts to point more and more towards the optimum. So let us compare the two algorithms side by side. On the left is the contour plot of the PGD, which we have already seen some times back. On the right is the Frank-Wolf plot. So while PGD traverses to the optimum along the boundary of calligraphic x, the Frank-Wolf method traverses along an interior path. So that is the key difference between the two algorithms, and that can be seen here very easily. Continuing the earlier example, consider a special case, which is the problem minimize minus half x transpose ax subject to norm of x less than equal to 1, where a is a positive definite matrix, so that this objective is a concave function. This is a non-convex problem. But the solution of this problem can be easily obtained by using eigenvalue decomposition of a. So in fact, if you write a as u lambda u transpose, then making the change of variables y equal to u transpose x, the problem can be written as min over y minus summation I from 1 to n yi square lambda I subject to sum of yi square less than equal to 1. The solution is this is given by taking yi to be 1 for I corresponding to the largest eigenvalue of a. So the solution of this problem is the largest eigenvalue of a, and the optimum x is the eigenvector corresponding to the largest eigenvalue of A. So in other words, this problem is basically nothing but finding the eigenvector corresponding to the largest eigenvalue of A. So we already know the solution of this problem, but let us anyway see the application of Frank-Wolf algorithm on it. We have already seen the form of the updates xt plus 1 equal to 1 minus eta t xt plus eta t a of xt divided by norm 2 of a of xt. And in particular, consider the case when step size eta equal to 1, which makes the update xt plus 1 equal to axt divided by norm 2 of axt. Now this particular algorithm you might have seen before. It is called the power method and is known to be a very efficient way of calculating the eigenvector corresponding to the largest eigenvalue of matrix A. So this is the particular example where the Frank-Wolf iterations turn out to be equivalent to another completely different algorithm. The power method is actually much older than the Frank-Wolf method, and this link between Frank-Wolf method and the power method was however recently established in 2013 only in the reference given below. Next, let us consider the optimization over L1 norm ball constraint, that is that minimize f of x subject to L1 norm of x less than equal to 1. First, recall that the projected gradient descent involves taking projection over the L1 norm ball constraint. You can calculate the projection over L1 norm ball by writing down the KKT conditions for this problem. So you can get the dual problem, which would only have a single variable, and that dual problem can then be solved using bisection. This problem was also included in the assignment, so I need not cover it here, but I will just state the solution so you can verify it for yourself. The projection onto the L1 norm ball is given by x if norm 1 of x is less than equal to 1 and t lambda star of x if norm 1 of x is greater than 1, where lambda star is the solution to the nonlinear equation t of lambda star of x norm 1 equal to 1. So this is a nonlinear equation in lambda star and it has to be solved using an algorithm like bisection. And here the operator t of lambda star is actually the soft thresholding operator and is given by the ith entry of t lambda of x is equal to xi minus lambda if xi is greater than lambda, 0 if xi is between minus lambda and lambda, and xi plus lambda if xi is less than minus lambda, where remember that lambda is positive. So computationally, the projection onto the L1 norm ball is not very difficult because it is a bisection algorithm, but it still must be solved for an optimal lambda star, and it is not easy either since the bisection has to be run at every iteration of projected gradient descent. Next, let us take a look at the Frank-Wolf algorithm for L1 norm constraint problems. The subproblem that we need to solve in this case is given by min over u inner product of gradient f of xt comma u such that norm 1 of u is less than equal to 1. Now to solve this, recall the definition of the dual norm. Since the dual norm of L1 norm is the L infinity norm, we have that infinity norm of v is equal to max over u inner product of v comma u. L1 norm of u is less than equal to 1. Taking minus sign on both sides, we get minus infinity norm of v equal to min over u inner product of minus v with u norm 1 of u less than equal to 1. And therefore the solution of the Frank-Wolf update problem is given by minus infinity norm of gradient f of xt equal to min over u inner product of minus gradient f of xt comma u subject to L1 norm of u less than equal to 1. Now that we know the answer, we need to find the value of u that achieves this value. Any value of u is fine because it need not be unique. So we need to find u such that the inner product of minus gradient f of xt comma u is equal to minus infinity norm of gradient f of xt, which if you recall is equal to minus max over I absolute value of ith entry of gradient f of xt. We can see here that I only need one of the entries of u to be 1 or minus 1, then the equality can hold. So we can pick the index corresponding to the largest absolute value of entries of gradient f of xt. After that, we need to adjust the sign of u so as to make sure that the equality would hold, Therefore, the solution is given by u of I equal to minus sine of ith entry of gradient f of xt if I is the argmax of I, absolute value of ith entry of gradient f of xt, and 0 otherwise. For instance, if the entry of gradient f of xt, which has the largest magnitude, is positive, then I'm multiplying that entry with minus 1 so as to get minus infinity norm of gradient f of xt on the left, and likewise if it is negative, we are multiplying it with plus 1. So in summary, the Frank-Wolf update are given by it equal to index of the entry with the maximum absolute value of gradient f of xt, and by it equal to minus sine of that entry of gradient f of xt, and xt plus 1 equal to 1 minus eta t xt plus eta t yt. Now if you compare it with projected gradient descent, this is significantly simpler. There is no bisection required here for sure, and we are only updating one entry of xt. All other entries are just being scaled. In fact, there are many more results involving such L1 norm constraint problems using Frank-Wolf, and it is an active area of research. Another popular example is the nuclear norm constraint problem, which is minimize over x, f of capital X, here x is a matrix, subject to the nuclear norm of x less than equal to 1. The projected gradient descent involves updates of the form x of t plus 1 equal to px of xt minus eta gradient of f of xt. Recall that in this case the gradient will also be a matrix. So a key step is the calculation of the projection onto the nuclear norm ball constraint. The current assignment includes the problem of finding the projection onto the nuclear norm ball, so I need not cover it here, but I will state the solution. Suppose that we need to find the projection of a matrix X. If the singular value decomposition of X is given by U sigma V transpose, then the projection onto the nuclear norm ball is given by Px of X equal to U times diag of P delta n diag of sigma times V transpose, where delta n is the probability simplex. So what we are essentially doing here is extracting the singular values of x, stacking them in a vector, and then projecting them onto delta n, which is the probability simplex, so that they all sum up to 1, and then making them singular values of the resulting matrix. The singular vectors remain the same. So computationally this is an expensive operation, because if x is large, we require to do two things. We need to calculate the SVD of the matrix, and then we need to carry out a bisection in order to calculate projection over delta n, which is also an iterative procedure. Therefore, the projection over the nuclear norm ball constraint is expensive. In contrast, the Frank-Wolf update requires solving minimize inner product of gradient f of xt, comma y subject to nuclear norm of y less than equal to 1. Now if you recall, the dual norm of the nuclear norm is the spectral norm sigma 1 of gradient f of xt. The spectral norm is the largest singular value of the gradient matrix. The corresponding optimum y is given by u1 times y v1 transpose, where u1 and v1 are left and right singular vectors of gradient f of xt. So the interesting thing here is that you need not carry out a full-fledged SVD in order to calculate the largest singular value or the corresponding singular vectors. Instead, there is a much more efficient way to do the same. Both MATLAB and Python provide functions called SVDs for these. Just try calling these on a large random matrix and you will be able to see the massive difference in performance yourself. These use variants of a method called Lanczos method, which is basically an adaptation of the power method for finding the largest eigenvalue of a symmetric matrix. In summary, we have seen that as compared to the projected gradient descent, the Frank-Wolf iterations are particularly cheap when the constraint involves either L1 norm ball or a nuclear norm ball. These type of constraints are in fact very common because they arise routinely in compressive sensing and matrix completion problems. There are other applications as well where Frank-Wolf method is useful. For instance, submodular optimization involving discrete constraints has also been studied, where although the problem is non-convex, Frank-Wolf iterations help us get to the approximate solution very quickly. So that is all for this video. I hope that we have sufficiently motivated the use of Frank-Wolf algorithm. Now we are ready to see the performance of the Frank-Wolf algorithm, which we will cover in the next video.